Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to another episode of the Tigers Baseball Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Schulte, and we are going to have some congratulations and a couple of other things to talk about tonight. First and foremost, let's go ahead and congratulate Kerry Carpenter on his first career Major League home run. He hit that tonight against Cleveland in a 7-5 win over the Guardians in Game 2 of a straight doubleheader. Also want to congratulate Brian Garcia as he got his first Major League win. Let me double check on that because let's see. No, it doesn't look like it's. It doesn't look like he said he's got like they gave him his first career win, which they should have because he pitched the sixth after Detroit took a 5-3 lead. So I'm thinking he got it, and it just the PR people haven't really done much with it. Actually, he may have gotten a Major League win before having blown a save, but it was his first career start that he got a win in at least. He went 6 innings and allowed 3 runs, didn't walk anybody, which was important considering the Cleveland lineup is a high contact lineup, high contact, low strikeout lineup. So when you walk guys with that lineup, it causes some issues because it can get out of hand on you in a hurry. So congratulations to both of them. Detroit, however, is 44-74. Can we officially say that they are eliminated that they will not finish over 500 this year? Well, no, but in order for them to do that, they would have to go. They would have to go 37-7 in the next 44 games. I don't see that happening. So, yeah. They'll officially have clinched a losing season if they lose one more game of the next 44 games. Because at that point, there's only 44 games left. If they lose one more game, they will be 31 games under the 500 mark, and they'll have to basically win. I mean, it's the numbers are astronomically high. They have to lose less than 10 games for the rest of the year. They can only lose 7 more games in the whole year. They're not going to do that. They're just not. They might even be a 100-loss team this year. To avoid that, they have to win 19 games out of the next 44, or the next 44. So going basically 19-25 in the next 44 games, that's doable. That's feasible. That's unlikely as well. Let's just call it what it is. It's a highly unlikely prospect that they're going to win 63 games this year. And it's interesting listening to A.J. Hinch's comments after Al Avila was let go last week. He basically said that he told the players they're the reason that Al Avila got fired. Well, okay, so if A.J. Hinch gets fired at the end of the year, is he going to meet with the players and say, hey, you guys are the reason I lost my job? It's just, at what point, and I love A.J. Hinch. I think he's a great manager. I think he's been dealt a bad hand. But at what point do you have to sit there and accept the responsibility for something? Either not communicating correctly to these guys, not I don't know what it is that has to be done. I don't know if you can look at the shortened spring training and say, I certainly have I certainly think that that's the reason for all the injuries to the pitching staff. Although if you look at the relievers, outside of Jose Cisnero and Kyle Funkhauser and Andrew Chafin, really there haven't been a lot of injuries to the relief corps, to the bullpen. Okay, Willie Peralta had a hamstring injury, and Andrew Chafin was recovering from a groin injury when he started the season on the injured list because of a groin injury. I get that, but really, the bullpen has been in fantastic shape. Tyler Alexander was out for a bit, but he was a starter and then converted to reliever, and now he's back to starting. So I don't know what the cause is of this year's issues. I don't know why Javi Baez is swinging at sliders that are basically being thrown to the first baseman. I don't know why Jonathan Scope isn't able to hit the fastball. I don't know why Spencer Torkelson didn't work out. I don't know why Tucker Barnhart, who's normally a 250 hitter, is hitting like 215. I do know why Miguel Cabrera is hitting right around 260. It's because his right knee is sore. And let me tell you, when you got a sore knee, if you're trying to do anything that requires putting weight on the joint, on that knee joint, you're not going to function. It's just not going to work. But I do think, now I don't think that the shortened spring training had anything to do with Casey Mize's injury. I don't think that the shortened spring training had anything to do with Michael Pineda's injury. I don't think it had anything to do with whatever's going on with Tarik Skubal. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I do think that when it involves Matt Manning, yeah, probably. Did it hurt Eduardo Rodriguez? Probably not. His situation is personal. He was actually he actually did have one game. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. Yeah, he had one game where he came back, was reactivated, and then no, actually he didn't. He pitched really well in a minor league start, and then went on the restricted list because he was having some problems at home. So that's what that's all about. So yeah, I feel I can't say necessarily that the shortened spring training is why the hitters aren't doing well, because everybody had to deal with it. And it certainly hasn't affected Aaron Judge. It certainly hasn't affected Jose Ramirez. It certainly hasn't affected Shohei Ohtani. It certainly hasn't affected Carlos Correa. There's a number of players that are doing better than this entire Tigers team at this point when it comes to offensive output. So that's an issue, and it's just one of those things that we'll see where it goes. We'll see what happens. It's August. It's August 15th at the time that this is being recorded. The postseason starts on October 7th, which is a Friday. So it actually that's the first round of wildcard games. The regular season, I believe, ends on October 2nd. So, we've got about a month and a half left. We'll see where it goes. But either way, congratulations are still in order for Kerry Carpenter on his first major league homer, and it was a crucial home run. And it was a bomb. He had 3 hits tonight. An absolute screamer of a double in the second inning, which led to the Tigers scoring their first run. He actually scored the first run for the Tigers. and then an absolute missile to right center field for his first major league home run. So let's get into the injury report. Austin Meadows is rehabbing. He will be back with the team probably on the homestand is my guess. Detroit has 2 more against Cleveland. Then they come home for 3 against the Angels and then 2 against the Giants before going to Texas. So my guess is he comes back probably... My guess is probably for the Giants series. I don't think they want to rush him back by Friday. The way the minor leagues are working out, they play games Tuesday through Sunday, and then they have Mondays off. So they'll probably have him come back on Monday because it's an off day for both squads. They can work him out, see how things are going, and if give him a final evaluation, and then say, all right, you're ready to go. And then activate him on Tuesday for the Giants series, which will trigger a roster move. Probably Akil Baddoo going back down to AAA. Look, let's face it, he's just not hitting. He's not hitting. He's not getting on base. There's nothing that he's doing to suggest that he is in any way, shape, or form the player that he was last year. Now, does he have that potential? Of course he does. He showed it last year, so we know what's in there. He just hasn't been able to get there this year. So my guess is Akil Baddoo goes down. Austin Meadows comes up next week. And we see where things go from there. Like I said, looking at specific aspects of things, if another player has to go down, another position player has to go down, it's probably going to be Victor Reyes because he only plays the outfield. We saw Willie Castro at short tonight. He's played second and third. He's also played left, center, and right. Cody Clemens has played left and right field and played tonight at third base and played yesterday at first base. So now the only thing that'll keep Victor Reyes up that might send Cody Clemens down is the fact that Cody Clemens isn't really hitting. Victor Reyes is hitting over 200, whereas Cody Clemens is hitting right around 130. So, but out of the two of them, if you look at Victor Reyes and Willie Castro's got a higher batting average. Willie Castro's hitting right around 255, and Victor Reyes is not. So, actually, now that I think about it, they might be right around the same. But Willie's more versatile with the 6 positions as compared to 3 for Reyes. Eduardo Rodriguez pitched on Friday night, pitched well. So he may be up and joining the team probably next week. Same thing for Michael Pineda. It'll be good to get them guys back because Tarik Skubal went to see Dr. I can't pronounce his last name. Dr. Neil, and I can't. I know I'll butcher his last name, so we're not going to go for it. But it's in L.A. and he went to see him today for another opinion on his elbow. This is the guy that does Tommy John surgeries. I believe he did Spencer Turnbull's last. No, that was Keith Meister. He did one Tigers. It was either Turnbull or Faedo. Yeah, it was Faedo, I believe. He did his Tommy John surgery a couple years ago. And my guess is that, look, Tarik Skubal's had Tommy John before. He knows what he's looking at. He knows what he's feeling. He knows what it felt like when he had it the last time. If he thinks he needs to see somebody who has done this surgery and who does this surgery, I'm thinking he thinks he needs this surgery. Or he might just be like, you know what, this feels a lot the same. It feels very similar. I want to make sure that this isn't the problem, that this isn't something that I'm going to have to go through again. And so he wants to be certain one way or the other what he's going to need to do. The thing that concerns me about Tarik Skubal's injury is the fact that this could linger into next season. So if he's told he doesn't need Tommy John surgery and he just gets like a plasma injection, a platelet enriched plasma injection to calm down the inflammation in his elbow, which is what Clayton Kershaw has had done. If he does that, and all right, things are going okay, gets into spring training and gets hit around like 3 starts in a row, goes in and, guess what? You really should have had that surgery done in August of last year. Well, now you're without Tarik Skubal for all of next year and possibly part of 2024. Whereas now, if he has the surgery done, let's say the doctor says, yeah, you need this surgery. We can schedule it for September 1st. He has it done September 1st. He knows what he needs to do. He knows what his timetable is. Yes, you have lost him for all of 2023, but you get him back at the beginning of 2024. You look at this rotation, and next year, you're going to get Casey Mize back. You're going to get Spencer Turnbull back. And you've still got Manning and Skubal and Rodriguez. Provided Skubal is able to pitch. And as insurance down in AAA, you've got Alex Faedo and Joey Wentz. And oh, by the way, Garrett Hill's pitching well. And oh, by the way, Brian Garcia might be a decent starter. Okay. It's one of those situations where at this point we've got an embarrassment of riches in the starting rotation once everybody comes back healthy. Now, we don't know what Casey Mize is going to be like when he comes back. We don't know what Spencer Turnbull is going to be like when he comes back. Dude had such crazy stuff that he didn't even know where it was going 90% of the time when he was healthy. Put a new ligament in his arm, or probably a tendon in his arm, and you don't know what you're going to get. It'd be fun to watch, though. So that's your injury update. That's the that's the view from there. We don't know anything more about Jake Rogers. The only thing that I've seen is that he took live batting practice off of Joey Wentz. That was in like July. So there you go. Alex Faedo had season-ending hip surgery. And we welcome back Daniel Norris on Friday. He pitched for the Tigers against the White Sox. Pitched pretty well. The White Sox beat us 2-0. But hey, it could have been worse. So there you go. Right now, your rotation is Daniel Norris, Tyler Alexander, Matt Manning, Garrett Hill, and probably Drew Hutchison. Because Drew Hutchison pitched today. He's been up for a while now. You can pretty much figure he's going to be in the rotation through September. He's pretty much here for the rest of the year. I don't think Detroit wants to DFA him again and go through the possibility of, he might sign somewhere else. Because he still could. It's mid-August, and you can never have too many starting pitchers. So that is an issue that they don't want to have to deal with. So chances are Drew Hutchison is up for the rest of the year, which is fine. Look, Michael Pineda might be coming back next week. Eduardo Rodriguez might be coming back next week. So you move Hutchison to the bullpen, or you just send Garrett Hill back down. Hutchison's a decent fifth. He's a decent number 5. If I have a rotation of Daniel Norris, Eduardo Rodriguez, Michael Pineda, Matt Manning, and Drew Hutchison, I can live with that. Granted, there's 3 lefties in that rotation. It's a little bit left heavy. But you know what? There's teams that don't hit left-handed pitching. So why not? Now, I don't know if Daniel Norris has enough time in the majors to qualify for having to go through the DFA thing again, like Drew Hutchison does. So I don't know where that stands. You might move Tyler Alexander back to the bullpen and keep Garrett Hill up here. You might, there's at that point, there's options that you have, and Sam Minson's going to have to make that decision. Sam Minson's going to have to sit down with AJ Hinch and say, okay, what do I need to do here? And that sort of brings us to a thought process on the general manager situation. Apparently there is a rumored shortlist that Jeff Luhnow is not on. He needs to be. Thank you very much. Nobody listens to me, but Jeff Luhnow needs to be on that short list. I don't care. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do. Jeff Luhnow needs to be on that short list. According to a report that I read by Jason Beck today, that's probably not a logical thought process. Oh, well, it should be. But apparently the short list includes Jay Sartori, who is a former Apple executive that is supposed to help run the analytics department, and Sam Minson. Those are internal candidates. They're also talking about Pete Pudula and Scott Sharp as possible candidates. I could live with Pudula and I could live with Sharp. I want Jeff Luhnow there. I could live with Pudula before I lived with Sharp, though. And the reason for that is he's a former Astro. He's an assistant GM for the Astros under James Click. And he's worked with AJ Hinch before. So familiarity is a good thing in this case. So there's that issue. With that, I am going to close this one out for this week. We will catch up with you next week. It's an off day next Monday, so I'll probably be able to I'll do the podcast next Monday again instead of on Sunday. I kind of like these Monday pods instead of Sunday pods just because it just seems a little less hectic to get it out on a Monday as compared to Sunday. I want to thank Anchor for the distribution of the podcast on all the podcast platforms, Apple Podcast, Google Podcasts, Spotify, that sort of thing. If you want to get in touch with the show, you can at tigersbaseballpodcast@gmail.com. You can also catch us on Twitter at Podcast Tigers. Please check out our YouTube channel. That's where we are trying to get more than 100 subscribers so we can have a custom YouTube URL. And that will make life a lot easier for all of us. With that, we'll say see you next week. And thanks for listening, everybody. I'm Chris Schulte. Go Tigers.